my fellow freedom lovers and sovereign thinkers. Thank you for tuning into LL3 Podcast. My name is Craig, transmitting from the beautiful swampy mangroves of South Florida, and today's date is Tuesday, December 22nd, 2020. Yeah, so, I was watching this video that happened in Salem, Oregon. BC Preacher put that out. And mainly talked about how some of the people trying to get into the meeting, and they barred them. They wouldn't let them in. A few things broke out. They tried to break down the door, and they went in, and they got maced. And they tried the other side, got the same ordeal. You're going to be arrested. And proves one thing. All those people that are involved are proud oath breakers. Because they breached their own Oregon Constitution. Some of the people that were there, patriots or whatever you want to call them, the problem is you cannot use the corporate doctrination. You got to use the state constitution as well. You got to throw that out there to get more clarification and enlighten all those people, all your fellow Oregonians. Yeah, okay, to stand for what's right. Hey, I am not impressed with Governor Kate Brown. Nothing more than a tyrannical drag as far as I'm concerned. And don't get me wrong, I'm not here to bash the LGBTQ, community, because everyone out there too have different political perspectives. So, but it's based on this individual's actions and their lackeys in that great state that has to be condemned, and their actions are completely unacceptable. I see a lot of treason too from that particular area, because they prove once again they're proud oath breakers, and Katie Brown is one arrogant hack. It's all based on their actions. That's all. And folks out there, hey, you did your job. And I'm glad that came out. And it's fun because I was watching Disclose before that, Disclose TV, and some people try to compare them to Antifa and all that. But you have to really watch the entire video. It's like 4 hours long. But people are insulted. And it's just as going on, part of the whole global chaos or geopolitical turmoil. So, of course, the elections are still up in the air. Looks like more folks in the Senate and the House are going to be challenging it. And it'll be very interesting indeed. And the ones that compromised, I know where you stand. There's another bunch of tyrannical hacks or treasonous quacks. All right, so that's all I gotta say. All right, well, I'm gonna be talking about a couple of things pertaining to the state of Florida, and of course, here looks like the mayor decided to do a curfew for Broward County over the holidays. How astute of him. And the now county mayor is the chairman, actually, Stephen Geller. Another career politician that believes he's smarter than everybody else because he's an attorney. Well, this one here is written by Lisa J. Hariash. Hopefully I pronounced her name correctly. And as it reads, Broward County will shut down for business from midnight to 5 a.m. over the holidays. A temporary curfew intended to keep partiers from spreading the coronavirus. With visitors expected to stream into South Florida, the county plans to complete a curfew order over Wednesday. Miami-Dade County has a curfew from midnight to 6 a.m. Palm Beach has no plans to issue a curfew, although the town of Palm Beach has one, said county spokesman John Jameson. Broward had a curfew for time over the summer, but it was lifted in early August. COVID-19 cases have been climbing for weeks. More false positives, yeah. Christmas and New Year's holidays are known for large gatherings at homes and hotels. Broward Mayor Steve Geller told mayors during a conference call Tuesday, "We are expecting a spike in cases here." Well, I'll say this. I went by a Holiday Park today, and I see a big line for the COVID counts. Like I said, how accurate are they, right? We are worried that there's a lot of people, 940,000 people are expected at Fort Lauderdale Airport to arrive from Northeast and Latin America. Tourists are coming down on vacation, treating the entire week as a long holiday. The curfew from Christmas to January 4th is meant to stop people from moving around and gathering for parties, he said. Midnight mass and travel to and from work are exempt. So if I do a podcast around the state, around the county in Fort Lauderdale Beach, I say, yeah, I'm working. So hey, podcasters, take advantage of it. You're exempt. In addition, hours will be adjusted on Christmas and New Year's when the curfew will be from 1 to 5 a.m. rather than midnight. Not just podcasters, but video guys, all that. All the people in the alternative media. You're exempt. So, as I continue on here, Geller and others worry that hospital beds are filling up as COVID-19 grows. Luby Navarro, Director of Legislative Affairs for the Memorial Healthcare System, warned that the system can't afford to return to the caseloads of July when the pandemic hits its peak. Memorial 133 ICU beds are full, and the hospital is using other rooms for overflow, Geller said. People who insist on gathering at the holidays are killing their friends and families, he said. Okay, so he assumes if you gather, you're going to be killing your friends and family. All right, how astute of him, right? Not all mayors agree with the curfew, however. Fort Lauderdale Mayor Dean Trentilis called the efforts draconian and counterproductive. I can't accept that a curfew is the answer to a surge that hasn't happened, he said. We can't jump the gun, he said. Honestly, Christmas time, really? Where's Santa going to be at 1 o'clock? It sounds like it could work, but it doesn't work. You know what? I got to agree with the mayor. Oh, my goodness. Well, thank you, Mayor, for standing for what's right. I got to admire that. Don't get me wrong, I'm critical of him at times. But I didn't vote for him, respectfully. However, there's things, if we agree on, I'm going to thank him. I should thank him for that. You know, I'm very pleased. Because he learned his lessons from the past. Broward curfew announcement came a day a federal judge ruled that the county could not shut down bars and restaurants overnight. The county argued that the restaurant rules weren't a curfew, but instead it merely prohibits the sale, service, and consumption of food and alcohol on the premises after midnight. What the hell is that? Oh my goodness! If that's the words, the rhetoric they use, I'll probably be in the courtroom laughing. They go, "What's so funny?" I go, "Well, Your Honor, with all due respect, are these guys comedians?" I don't see them as attorneys. Wow. The judge disagreed, writing, while the county insists the midnight to 5 a.m. restriction do not operate as a curfew, they in fact do. Plaintiffs' businesses cannot effectively stay open if prohibited from serving food and drink. Brad Cohen, one of the lawyers who sued the county on behalf of bars and restaurants, speculated that the holiday curfew could wind up in court. And here's the thing. How come we went to federal court? See, this is why I'm real critical of the whole incorporation doctrine. All right? I'm real critical of that. How come we can't do it in the state? It's a Florida issue. There's already an executive order pertaining to that by DeSantis about the mask. You won't be penalized, anything like that. Okay? And, of course, if you look at, hold on here, if you look at the Florida Constitution, because run the business is your property, So it's like it says here, Article 1, Section 1, all political power is inherited in the people. The enunciation of here and certain rights shall not be construed to deny or impair others retained by the people, right? And of course, basic rights, all persons, which is 2, all natural persons, female and male alike, are equal before the law and have inalienable rights, among which are the right to enjoy and defend life and liberty, and to pursue happiness, to be rewarded for industry, and to acquire, possess, and protect property. Okay? All right, so this curfew has deprived people's property those certain time slots. Okay? And we can hit 5, peaceably to assemble. The people shall have the right to peaceably assemble, to instruct their representatives, and to petition for redress of grievances. Yeah, they have the right to assemble. Good grief. So, and of course, make it hit Section 10, which is, no bill of attainder, ex post facto law, or law impairing the obligation of contract shall be passed. He did an order. This is an impairing contract. So, bottom line is, folks, this order is illegal. And in addition, I'm going to add this to the footnotes on Broward resolution, okay? It says here, affirming the civil rights of all residents of Broward County, which was passed on May 6, 2003. And of course, there's some multiple things here. I know I may have addressed this in the past, but I think there's a 7th provision, I think it is. Whereas the Bill of Rights of the United States Constitution and the Constitution of Florida guarantee for those living in the United States the following rights: freedom of speech, assembly, and privacy, equality before the law, and the presumption of innocence, access to counsel, due process, and judicial proceedings, and protection from unreasonable search and seizures. And I'll just skip along here. Broward County has been and remains committed to the protection of civil rights and liberties for all citizens of Broward County. And the Broward Board of County Commissioners believes that a threat to anyone's person's constitutional right is a threat to the rights of all. This is mainly pertaining to the Patriot Act, and which is the Domestic Security Enhancement Act, and Florida Health Powers Act. But it goes a lot further. So this is why you always you can utilize it for multiple areas. And like I said before in the past, even to like the first-time listeners and people that start listening to me like this year, I've used this for when they try to do a speech permit items called Agenda Item 38, which happened November 8th, 2011. And I've used that particular provision with the 7th provision, and got people thinking. So it's like, that's why I try not to, I avoided the whole incorporation doctrine, okay? And everyone else started using that, and that's why I use the state constitution and this broad resolution. So this is essential. So I will add those 2 memos, 2 of the footnotes for this particular article, and people can use it in Broward County. The whole bottom line is the order from Steve Geller, which he did that even with Bertha Henry, is null and void. Okay? Those are the facts. And there's not a damn thing they can say. Plain and simple. So don't just say you do. Alright? And this one here came out of Orlando Sentinel, and I followed a gentleman named Representative Anthony Sabatini. So it says, Sabatini cheers accused murderer, calls for imprisoning Joe Biden. Will Florida House Speaker reward him? As a commentary, it's by Scott Maxwell. And he has a hashtag here, Kyle Rittenhouse for Congress. I'm like, wow. I'm like, okay. So it says here, Anthony Sabatini has always been desperate for attention. So earlier this month, 32-year-old Republican legislator from Lake County called for the imprisonment of Joe Biden. And it says here, there's a quote, only mandate Biden has to be impeached and then sent to federal prison, he tweeted. The tweets earned him 596 likes, not as many as when Sabatini called Biden a POS, or piece of shite, and it was quickly forgotten. So this past weekend, Sabatini upped the ante, lauding the 17-year-old accused of killing 2 protesters in Wisconsin. Kyle Rittenhouse for Congress. The legislator tweeted on the teen facing homicide charges after he took an AR-15 style weapon to a violent protest in Kenosha, Wisconsin. Okay? And it's not a violent protest. It's a riot. Okay? So this knucklehead, okay, Mr. Maxwell, wants to use violent protest. This is why I just laugh at these people, you know? Is it called a commentary? More of a comedy show, as far as I'm concerned, with this form of rhetoric. So, and as I continue on here, that tweet got Sabatini the attention he craved. The international news organizations marvel that Floridians would elect such a person. The daughter of Martin Luther and Coretta Scott King called Sabatini's tweet irresponsible and inhumane. So inhumane, so dangerous, so irresponsible, so racist. I can't say it was racist. Maybe Bernice King, you know, I'm not saying not going to be crucifying, but the whole thing is, my friend, this is very interesting. So she got mad about that. Well, this column is an attempt to shame Sabatini. I had better luck trying to get a Cocker Spaniel to understand quantum physics. The chosen one speaking here, right? Nor is it called to throw Sabatini out of office. This is a democracy. And the voters of Lake County seem to enjoy Sabatini's aggressive tweets and vocal ignorance. Rittenhouse isn't even old enough to legally serve in Congress. Of course, he's using sarcasm, you know? Sabatini's divisive facts be damned bomb throwing apparently reflects the values of Lake County voters. The question is whether they also reflect the values of the Florida Republican Party. We're about to find out. New House Speaker Chris Sprowls has started handing out committee assignments in the Florida House. If Sprowls wants to make it clear that Sabatini's incendiary stunts don't reflect the Speaker's own values, he'll sideline Sabatini and not let him anywhere near the crafting of public policy in this state. We'll see if Sprowls is interested in pursuing a serious policy agenda or in playing footsies with extremists. Think about it. If you were a House Speaker, try to embark upon a sincere mission of improving education, public safety, and the economy, you wouldn't let a fringery politician like this anywhere near serious committees like education, appropriations, or the judiciary. You bench him, you say. I know you were elected, and you have the right to vote on any piece of legislation this body produces. But I'm not letting your divisive histrionics derail or distract this chamber's serious goals. That's what Sprowls and then Speaker Jose Oliva did a few years ago after former Panhandle Republican Representative Mike Hill chuckled in a response to a constituent asking him to file legislation that's called for executing gay men. Good grief. Sprowls and Olivia quickly condemned Hill and stripped him of his position on the House Committee for Public Integrity and Ethics. So, we know if there are lines of decency that Republican leaders seem unwilling to cross, I guess we'll soon see precisely what they are. And rather, Sprowls is a serious statesman with spine. We know Sabatini isn't serious. Aside from his name, called Michelle Obama is a vile person. Biden is also a corrupt and decrepit old man. And frequently calls to imprison people he dislikes. Not just Joe Biden, but also Fauci should be in jail. Sabatini literally doesn't understand the laws of the state and the nation he lives in. Well, it's very, like I said, sometimes it looks like Sabatini is a complete ball buster when you look at this. And, you know, there's ways of, you can say there's ways of be more methodical, okay? But he's just like throwing just monkey wrenches at him. And look, like Michelle Obama is a vile person. There's people did security for her. says she's one of the most disrespectful people they worked with, okay? They had to protect. And Biden is a career criminal, okay? He supported the Patriot Act. He supported the invasion of Iraq. And a lot of these people that I support Biden because they hate Trump, you're so delusional. I'm not even a Trump lover, okay? But you guys are so delusional. You failed to do your homework. Shame on you. And Kamala Harris is not a natural-born citizen, so she's null and void. Okay? Plain and simple. So I'm going to continue on here. Teenagers can't serve in Congress even if they aren't facing murder charges. Oh, really? See, like I said, he's being sarcastic here. Last summer, Sabatini made it clear that he didn't understand state laws surrounding school choice when he staged a town hall tantrum, repeatedly conflating charter schools and voucher schools. Two school options that are completely different. One is public, one is private. You got comparable notes, okay? So you can look it up yourself. I don't expect all Fareeds to understand state laws, but people who write the laws should. Well, if it's not constitutional, it's null and void, right? Absolutely. Sabatini clearly doesn't. So to compensate for his lack of knowledge, he spouts off on Twitter. That's where Sprouse should let him play, in the social media sandbox, not on the state's serious policy-making committees. I try to ask Sprouse about all this, whether he takes Sabatini seriously, whether his views are in line with the House majority, and where, if anywhere, Sprouse plans to place Sabatini in his leadership pyramid. Sprouse didn't answer any of those questions, so not exactly a profile encouraged. Instead, more like a guy who wants to give a wink and nod to the extremists to keep them happy, but we'll see. As no party affiliated voter, I try to resist the tribal corners of partisan politics. I've long argued that liberals who describe all Republicans as racist dolts are as errant as conservatives who view all Democrats as anti-fun-loving socialists. Well, you gotta agree on that. I can't disagree with her on that. So when I say liberals on Twitter's claim that Sabatini's incendiary tweets were proof there's no ethics or morals with the current group of ours, my instinct was to tell them to stop stereotyping. But then I realized we hadn't seen Sabatini's peers call for him to be stripped of committee posts like they did with Mike Hill, or even object at all. Maybe they still will. Maybe they still will. This shouldn't be a tough call when someone acts like a child, or you treat them like a child. They don't deserve a seat at the adult table. We'll soon see whether Sabatini's name-calling calls for imprisonment and celebration of accused killer is an exception of the values of Florida's majority party, or the new face of it. Scott Maxwell wrote this. So, well, you know what? He wants to throw monkey wrenches at him. I've read some of his bills, and I like what he's doing. Okay, he's trying to go focus. He's focusing a lot on basic rights. Article 1, Section 2 of the Florida Constitution. I admire that. All right, it doesn't matter. You got to read his work, and and take it from there. So like I said, he may be a pain in the neck, wants a bust chops tweet and all that, but his plot right now, so far, I'm looking at some of his stuff, I like what he's doing, especially on basic natural rights, and that's legit, and that's I give him props for. Yeah, he could be bombastic. Hey, it's nothing new, but you know what? There's other people from the other side are just like that. So sometimes they hate competition. I guess so. But the truth of the matter is, for Sabatini, I'm not going to tell him what to do, but use finesse. It'll drive him a lot more crazier. But you know what? This is entertaining, so I'm just having fun. This is like, you know what? This is great, because sometimes you got to give them the taste of their own medicine. Because look, there's people out there I see putting out stupid bills, all right? And I get on them as well. So, like the semi-auto ban, they try to petition. I did a show on that. I said null and void, and I laid on all the facts. I came out, I think it was 2019, November 2019, late November 2019. You might have to look it up. But I did a show on that, and I laid out all the facts, why it's invalid, and I didn't have to use the Second Amendment. Okay, so, and it could be done. All you gotta do is a little reading, homework, you'll be fine. So, hey, you know what? It's gonna be a fun time in politics. Okay, so be aware of that, and folks, just be prepared, because a lot of ugly stuff is happening right now, and that's more essential. Focus on your family, and so forth, and you know, throw those monkey wrenches at these elected servants. They need it. Okay, so it doesn't hurt. Just try it once, you do it again and again and again, and that will be it. I thank everyone for listening. Plus, feel free to download and share throughout your social media networks. If you have any questions, comments, or something interesting you want to check out, whatever you do, please send your correspondence to Decorum. Furthermore, I will leave the footnotes of this article, of these articles, and extra goodies on my Spreaker page. And if you want to contact me, you can hit me at LokiLuck3@gmail.com. I know there's some issues with that, so I got another one, LokiLuck03@protonmail.com, which I prefer that more. And if you want to do a little donation, you can hit me at paypal.me/LokiLuck3. I'm going to look at a few other areas to add on to the contributions, so don't be shy. And once again, thank you for your time. Plus, always remember that demoniac resistance is healthy for the soul and can liberate humanity. Until next time, take care of yourselves, keep on spreading love, and may your guardian spirits be with you.